Hey all, welcome back to the channel, and today we're going to continue looking at the core class by way of Rattrap. And I'm going to ask, which rat is the rat for me? This one, or the old deluxe, I think Thrilling 30 Rattrap? There's been two of them. Which one's for me? And can my opinions change? We're about to answer all of that and more in the latest GotBot True review. Hey all, welcome back to the channel. I'm your host, your most humble of hosts, Dennis Moulton, aka GotBot. As always, man, please like, comment, share, of course, subscribe, and while you're at it, light them up, baby. Hit that notification bell, please. It helps me out a ton. It lets you know when content of all sorts goes up here on the channel. Check out Machinery of Man, the Everything Factor, all the groups that I am either a mod or an admin for. All those links are in the description. Check me out all across social media. All those links also in the description. And if you're in a position to help the channel to grow, you can use the donate link. You can check us out on Patreon. You can see what we offer to you through Teespring. Or, of course, you can hit the join button right here on YouTube and become a channel member. And this is Core Rattrap and Deluxe Rattrap. And I'm going to tell you now, it's an uphill battle for the Core. Here's why. One, I'm not necessarily sold on this being the right scale. I kind of like this scale, but that might be open for debate. The rat mode is far more limited, next to no articulation, and in all honesty, there are things I don't like about the robot, and there are things that I kind of don't like about the transformation. It's been fiddly and finicky for me up to this point. Who knows? Maybe my mind can be changed, but I'm going to tell you now that it's going to be an uphill climb for Core Rattrap. So without any further ado, how about we head over to the table and take a closer look at this guy. And here we have Kingdom Class Rattrap, and I'm going to tell you now, he's not good. It's not good. I wish I could say it was, and maybe it is for you, but you know what? Before we dive into that, let's do what we always do and start off with the packaging first. So we got packaging, Rattrap in his rat mode, and on the back we have his little rat mode, we have his robot mode. I dig the green. Hey, Kingdom instructions, they're alright. Here's the all-gray blaster. It has what I think is a 3mm peg and a little rectangular peg on the other side over there. And while Rattrap is able to hold his blaster just fine, using that rectangular slot, you can also slot it on his back. There's a little rectangular hole there, that little rectangular slot goes in there. It's pretty straightforward. It kind of just sits across his back, but you know what? At least its storage is better than what Black Arachnia had in robot mode. It's better than what Cheetor had in robot mode. So I'll give credit where credit is due there. Time for us to turn them around though and get into some scores. So let's talk scores. If we're looking at Rattrap here, the head is fine, I guess. There's nothing wrong with it. On the arms, I feel like that they're almost too monotone. Like I wish we had maybe a gold highlight on the circle on the shoulder. He does have a silver on his forearms, which is fine. I would say the arms, they're alright. The chest and whatnot is fine. Arguably, the eyes should be red, but I'm not going to argue with the eyes being the color they are there, which I think is a black. The waist is fine. The upper legs are fine. The lower legs are not right. We have gray lower legs. They should be silver, but I get it. I understand why they're gray because it's part of the transformation. And his feet are still his rat feet, which aren't exactly accurate, but again, I get why, because his lower legs are the hind legs of rat mode. I'm going to say in terms of looking like Rattrap and kind of capturing the look of the character, you know, he's somewhere around, I don't know, 8.5, maybe a 9. Like, it's pretty good. There's no doubt about it. Not perfect, but pretty darn good. What about his articulation? The articulation in rat mode is pretty much non-existent. The articulation in robot mode, we have a head that can go left and right. Doesn't really look up or down. I don't like these shoulders. The ball joints come out from the shoulder and are, like they're in, out from the shoulder. So the arm goes all the way forward. It can't go to the side unless you bring it, my goodness, unless you bring it down and then out to the side. Now that I guess still works because the elbow is on a ball joint, so if you really want to have like his hand this way out to the side, like it can work, but it's fiddly to do it. The shoulder does not peg in, so both of mine always come down like this. There's like no solidity on either side. To me, that's not good. No waist. The legs can go forward, great. They can go back, great. We have I guess a swivel because of the ball joint at the knee. We have a knee bend, and really depending on how you orient the leg, you can have a super deep knee bend because of another hinge down here that's really used for transformation. I do like the ankles. The ankle tilt forward and back and to the side, and you can actually move the ankles around. So I do dig the ankles, but the shoulders are garbage. Like, you can do the things you want to do with him, and he does stand solid. I'll give credit where credit is due. You can do the things that you want to do with him, but it's cumbersome to do it. Subjectively, I would only give it about a 5. But objectively, if the shoulder's pegged in, this would be way better. Objectively, it's about an 8, again an 8.5, because the waist design, generally it works well with only one real flaw, and that being that the shoulders don't peg in. It'd be nice if he had a waist, but I get why he can't have a waist. Like, it makes sense. So, like, he's not scoring bad, but I don't think he's good. Not when we compare him to the Generations Deluxe. I think the Generations Deluxe is still better. It looks more the part, it has more paint. And the articulation is really still all there. The only thing about the Generations, or at least my copy of the Generations, that's unfortunate, is that the elbow doesn't bend nearly far enough. But like that's the only real gripe with this guy. And to be fair, that is a gripe, honestly. And he still doesn't have a waist. So like I can't, you know. In terms of articulation, I think they're comparable because this guy doesn't have full 90 at the elbows, but the other guy doesn't have his shoulders lock in, right? So I think besides, you know, each of them having their own gripes, their articulation is comparable, but I think in terms of capturing the look of the character, the Generations does it better. What about the transformation? So while our boy Rattrap isn't scoring too bad so far, about an 8.5, I still feel like the other one is stronger, but we'll see how the transformation goes. I will do the best I can for you, but I do not find this to be an enjoyable transformation at all. So we begin by bringing these arms, I'm going to say up, and bringing these down like this. For the record, you'll notice that there's a little rectangular tab right there, and a rectangular slot in the arm. That slot in the arm will go over that tab down there, supposedly to hold it in place. We'll see. I guess I'll do it for now, to try and sort of hold it there, kind of, sort of, for now. Okay, we pick off the backpack and the tail section here. We pick off the entire backpack and angle it down. We rotate the head around, and then on what feels like a ratchet, we flip the head back and the rat head comes out. So what we have in his back is, this is the robot head and the rat head is up there. Okay, we're gonna just try and bring these legs down out of the way. Behind here, we rotate in the shoulders, and that'll bring this entire section down on the side. Hopefully the shoulders stay tabbed in on those rectangular slots and come in behind the robot here. It's a bit of a bear to do. Is this one in? In. Now that we have those in there, you make sure you have the forearms the right way, and the right way is so you have access to these rectangular slots on the back of the forearms. And now these forearms should push up kind of into the section next to the tail, and there's rectangular slots there that should go into the back of the forearms. I don't find that they like to stay locked in there at all. Not even a little bit. I'm going to try to get those locked in, and then we'll do the legs. We're going to call this Gerwalk mode or rat walk mode. This is the most solid that I've ever been able to get this guy, with the shoulders tabbed in and with his hands tabbed in. I don't believe it's going to last, but it's what's done for now, and I'm going to be thankful for that. When we bring the leg up, there's another rectangular tab just inside here that goes into the leg. Again, that's another one that has never worked. It probably will right now. The leg itself, you turn it to the side, and then you... See if I can figure this out now. Hold on, how is it that this goes? We bring the leg up, and this turns to the side, and then this there. It's a weird series of movements, but this is what you have to do with the knee. I'll try and show it better on the other side, but you have to kind of turn the knee to the side and angle it out a bit, and then you take the lower leg and you angle it up, and then this comes up underneath, and it should tab in on the side, and then there's a little tab up there that goes down kind of into the knee section, and it all kind of comes up, and then you reorient the foot that way. Like that. Easiest time it's ever done it for me, tabbing it in there. Gonna make a liar out of me now after I've said that I don't find this guy that great. We bring, of course it's gonna make a liar out of me. We bring this up, and again we bring this like knee up and out to the side. Again, it's weird movement. Like this back here, facing back, is the front kneecap. And then this is the entire shin on the side. You'll notice that I don't have the foot changed. This is the way the foot, or the paw, was oriented in robot mode. Again, we bring this leg up and under, it tabs in, and it comes up there. Wow. Wow, making a big liar out of me. Best time I've done that transformation yet. Best, hands down, best time I've done that transformation yet. Take the blaster, and it should, oh, I'm sorry, I was using this peg. I have to use this little peg. There's so many pegs here on this guy. And it goes over, I guess, on this leg. I presume. Yeah, it's pegged over on that leg. That rectangular peg went into this rectangular peg hole on the other side. But in the end, boom, here we have Rattrap in his rat mode. And so here we are with both of them next to each other. The Deluxe Generations one has the advantage that it can do the standing up on the hind legs thing, and he could move his arms a little bit, and his mouth opens and closes, and he even, to pull this off, he even has a flap that comes here and covers the back of his head. So he can do that, or of course, if you want, the Deluxe can still go down on, you know, all four of his like rat paws, just like the Core Class one. However, here's what I will admit. The transformation for the Core Class one worked out better today than it ever has. I'm going to say it's not as atrocious as I initially thought. I'm going to give it, honestly, when everything works the way it's supposed to work, it's actually pretty elegant. I'm going to give it a 9, but make sure you have everything tabbed in, especially those shoulders. So where does that leave us in the end when we kind of talk about comparisons of these two? I think that the Deluxe wins in terms of looks. I think that they are tied, basically, for transformation because, or sorry, for articulation, because one has a limited elbow, the other has shoulders that don't plug in robot mode. And I think, honestly, now that everything works the way it's supposed to, I think the Core probably wins for transformation. I was all set when I started this to bash on the Core because it wasn't working right, and I was all set to hands down say that the Deluxe was better. But as we've gone through here, I would say that Rattrap, whether you like the Deluxe or the Core, honestly, I think Rattrap has two respectable, decent offerings. I just wish that the Core had a little more paint and that those shoulders tabbed in. Otherwise, it's actually better than I thought it was going to be. He had an 8.5, an 8.5, and a 9. Overall, he's about an 8.75 or a 9. It is actually, to even my big, huge surprise, a respectable Rattrap. And who saw that coming? You know, I started out really not liking Rattrap, like really like hot garbage, like not good. And I've heard so many people talk so highly about him, and I've always been like, why? It's not great. And today, during the review, for some reason, everything fell into place the way it's supposed to. Has not done it for me since I picked this guy up. I don't know if it will ever do it for me again. Before the review, it worked the way it's absolutely intended to work. So, on the good side, when the transformation works the way it's supposed to, it's actually pretty good and everything is fairly solid. First time that's happened for me, though. The look, like, yeah, okay, it looks like, actually this looks more like a mouse to me than a rat. But, I mean, you know, it could be a rat, right? Like, I mean, it's obviously a rat. So, like, it's fine. I do feel like this looks more like a rat, but to each their own. Again, that's subjective. So, he works well in terms of the transformation, and it's an okay rat. In terms of robot look, I feel like it needs more color breakup, more paint, more something. It looks kind of cheap without it. I detest that the shoulders don't peg in, and I don't like the ball joint facing out front. It's just too jarring, and it makes the shoulders and the upper arms therefore not look natural or work the way I'd like them to. So there's things I like and dislike about it. If you didn't have the deluxe, or you think this scale is vastly superior, I can understand why you would get this guy. I think for me, the deluxe is still my go-to Rattrap and the one that I prefer. But now, I am more prepared to say I understand why someone would like this guy. I actually like him better than I did at the beginning of this review. So for those who look at me and say, hey GotBot, you're the most critical guy I know, and hey GotBot, you get really stuck in your ways. I'm not. Show me something good, and I'm perfectly open to changing my mind. This little guy absolutely proves it. He's not perfect, but he is a pretty great little Rattrap. Let me know what you think about Rattrap. Were you smitten by him or were you disappointed by him? I appreciate you coming by and giving me some of your extremely valuable time, man. I do know how important it is to you. If you are in a position to help the channel to grow, you can use the donate link. Check us out on Patreon. See what we offer to you through Teespring, or of course hit the join button right here on YouTube, baby. Become a channel member. Don't forget that somehow, some way, each and every single day, you do make a difference. And I look forward to the next time that you and I get together to have another visit, either in the live streams, at the stop motion premieres, or the old fashioned, baby, right here inside the videos.